Good evening, good evening. Happy weekend, everyone. Hope everyone's good. How are you guys doing out there? Shout out to everybody who's logged in right now. Shout out to everybody who's listening. If you're driving, if you're working, if you're home, if you're, with company and friends and you're taking time to click on my little ring on YouTube, see what I'm talking about. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. So I definitely expected to have my camera on today, and for some reason I am just not ready, and I don't know if I can get ready in time for my camera on. So I'm going to work on that. But thank you guys for all stopping through. It's another episode of Wine and FaceTime tonight. I'm going to remove this banner in a second. Okay, there we go. So shout out to everybody who again came through to view. Please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I want to talk about a lot of things today, but the main topic tonight, of course, as everyone knows, is about the ladies, about the women, about the chicas, about the females, about the people who help produce life, about the people who help, bring us into this world. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the woman, is there a such thing as good women existing? That's going to be our main topic tonight. But before I jump into that, I want to touch base on a couple of different things too, really briefly. So I was talking to my mentor in business, aka my father, who I co-host What's Your Come Up Story with, and he was telling me that I may need to be doing some rebranding. So I really told him, like, I don't really know what branding is. I don't know what branding is. I don't feel like talking about that. I see I have someone in the chat with me. Good evening, Jose. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Anyway, my father's saying, you need to think about how does Wine and FaceTime tie into everything you're doing as far as KFIT, and if it doesn't, you're all over the place. And I kind of took offense to it, but took time to try to be mature and understand where he was coming from with, what he was saying, and just pretty much say, make things make sense, and be in sync with what you're doing across, your platform, so people aren't confused. People may not tell you they're confused by what your brand is or who you are, what you represent. But people may be confused and may not know where you're going with what you're doing based on your platforms and how you show up. I also see I have another person in the chat, Sutton Satin. Good evening, Sutton Satin. I hope you're well. Thank you. I see you drinking pink Moscato again. Well, I don't have any wine today or any beer, but I do have a White Claw hard seltzer ruby grapefruit. It's 5% alcohol. It's super light. Tastes like like a tonic type of drink. My stomach doesn't bother me so much. I'm trying to lay off all those extra sugary drinks that get you too buzzed too quickly. Definitely wish I had some red wine, but I don't. But shout out to you, Southern Satin. Shout out to Uncommon Sense for Jose Negron. Thank you guys for coming through. Tonight's main topic, again, as I said, it will be about the ladies. We are going to chime in and eventually talk about do good women still exist. On top of that, I definitely want to be able to join, open up the platform to people to jump on and say they want to be a part and give their viewpoints or, opinions about certain things we want to talk about tonight. In addition to that, I want to tell you guys about me, anything coming up with me as far as business and KFIT. And outside of that, want to vibe out with y'all like I do every time I do this show, Wine and FaceTime. So going back to the comment about rebranding and everything, I want people to understand that when they come to YouTube and they watch my Wine and FaceTime, they're not gonna see me necessarily 100% of the time talking about fitness, meal plans, and everything health and wellness specifically. Wine and FaceTime specifically is to express who I am as a person, my struggles, my journey, my pain, me, all the things that are outside of fitness. The rest of the playlist on my YouTube channel does consist of fitness and health and wellness related playlists, such as a meal plan or a diet playlist that does show cooking tips, nutrition tips, watching me, showing me cook food and prepare dinners and breakfasts and meal plans. I do have playlists here on YouTube outside of Wine and FaceTime that does show KFIT in her space of being into fitness and being an independent personal trainer. So, I guess if he says that, there may be other people that may possibly think that way, feel that way, be confused when they see me and my brand and don't know what I represent, what's my main mission or objective. So, um, I'm gonna take time out to, recreate, this channel in a way that makes sense. So anyone else is not feeling the way he felt, and he does not represent the entire world, but he definitely showed me a lot of guidance and motivation and support into all the things I'm doing. And I can be naive and stubborn sometimes and in my head, and passionately stuck in my feelings about certain things, and not see the light until it's too late sometimes. So I want to make sure it makes sense. I don't want to have multiple channels on YouTube. I don't want to have multiple channels on Instagram and Facebook. I'm trying to prevent having so many channels to keep up with daily to post across all the time. So I don't know if YouTube is going to just be exclusively for me personally, Wine and FaceTime only and nothing else, and just funny things I want to do about my personality and who I am, or if something's going to come down or reshape or reshift. But definitely going to be considering a change to my platform. If you notice my bio has changed. It's about 4 or 5 paragraphs more in depth telling you about my journey personally outside of health and wellness. Just about my own mental mind state as an individual, as a woman, as a person having insecurities. My bio has become a little bit more detailed. So I wanted to take time out to make it right. I try to spend a lot of time here to post a lot of content to get engagement and followers and views and watch time and everything, but I don't want to do it all for it to not make sense at the end of the day. That's not the kind of platform I want. And if I am going to use YouTube for that platform, again, I want it to make sense. So again, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to have some rebranding coming up really soon, because I don't want to be managing multiple channels, personal, Lock Journey, Facebook, my website. I don't want to handle so much and overwhelm myself, because it just sounds like there's going to be a whole lot more to start creating private channels or personal channels. And I don't know. I really got to figure it out. But anyway, outside of that, the next thing I want to move up to is, being able to take constructive criticism and being able to communicate, professionally and effectively with people. Going back to that conversation, it made me think, okay, am I going to be in my head about this conversation? Am I going to really take cues and flags and points and really try to address it to see if it makes sense? So I do see some chats in the some comments in the chat, and I see such and such and says, I agree with your dad about branding being important. However, you can always have two different channels if you really want to separate your brand from your personal channel. And I see Jose says, I have one active channel, but I appear on multiple platforms. Understood, and I'm getting a lot of engagements from people wanting me to do business with them on their channels, and their channels are not like my channels. They're a little more risque than my channel. And my dad thinks that, I have salacious topics and interesting topics. And I try to keep them not risque, but, interesting for more or less. And I'm definitely concerned about how I show up on other people's channels and platforms. As far as who I want to be. Do I want to be KFIT? So I want to be Kashel. So I, like I'm just really kind of thinking about that now more than I want to, and understanding it is important. I got to figure it out at the end of the day too. So if you guys are out there, please make sure you like and subscribing to my channel. If you're still with me, if it's Jose and Southern Time, please send me a thumbs up if you could. Thank you, I appreciate it. But moving along, just want to make that comment, for you guys to know about and understand, so you see that change coming soon, you understand why that's coming. So shout out to everybody who shows respect and support to that and understands that. So if I'm dormant for a week or two, or you don't see much activity from me, in the next upcoming weeks or time, that's because of this. So good evening, Ramon. How are you? Nice to see you. Jose says the best thing is for you to be truthful to yourself. Well, I think I'm a very interesting person. I think I have a lot of interesting things I want to share. A lot of interesting things about me that the world doesn't know, and I like to be able to express it however I want, whenever I want, and just want to, make sure I'm doing so appropriately at the same time too, so I'm not so sabotaging myself. But I like what I do here on Wine and FaceTime. I like that it's different from everything else I'm doing, and it's something I do want to keep. But maybe I don't need all the playlists. Maybe this could just be Wine and FaceTime YouTube exclusively, and it has nothing to do with KFIT. Maybe I need to rename it. You said I sound muzzled. Wow. Does everyone think I sound muzzled? Well, hopefully I don't sound muzzled. If everyone thinks I sound muzzled, please let me know. I'll log in from my cell phone. Okay, good. Yeah, so I've kind of now like all in my head about all of that, and kind of like the worst way, but kind of not in the worst way, but kind of in like a critical way where it's like, oh gosh, I got to take time out to sit back and reconstruct something else and keep everything else afloat, and still have personal time and not forget about myself, because that's something I'm horrible with. I'm horrible with personal care. No matter how much I talk about it, I'm definitely not actively doing it. I need a manicure, I need a pedicure, I need all kind of self-loving care. I need a day to myself to do something make me feel happy, and I don't do those things at all. And I feel like Wine and FaceTime be those days for me. And that can't always be. It has to be real live engagements, not always virtual connections on social media. But yeah, that's a little vent right there. So moving along, tonight I want to talk about, the main topic. The main topic, you guys saw me post about it on social media. You guys saw me talk about it, I think, a little bit briefly on my story, I think, this morning, or probably earlier this morning when I did my workout this morning. So we want to just briefly, speak my view about, do good women still exist? So I follow a Southern country rapper by the name of Plies on YouTube, and he has a lot of followers, like only 200 videos, but like 45.k followers. But he's a Southern rapper, and he posts a lot of videos about women and everyday hood stuff we see, and funny stuff. He made some comments about the P Valley show. So he has a pretty interesting channel in my opinion. And long story short, he recently posted a video on his channel, and he was talking to the fellas regarding the ladies. And he said something that I thought was really interesting. And again, he was talking about the ladies, and he was talking to the fellas. So he was pretty much talking about women, the things women go through, the way women are brought up, how they think, how they feel, as far as men, how they treat them, how they show them respect, and all of that. And I don't want this to be a whole platform tonight about men versus women or relationships or statistics or anything like that. But I'm gonna see if y'all can hear some of this video. I don't know if I'll get banned for this. I'm on my cell phone and my laptop right now, but if I'm gonna get banned for this, y'all give me a heads up and say don't play any more of the video. But I'm gonna try to play this video from my cell phone, and it's on YouTube and it's on Plaza's channel. So the hold on, let's see, fellas, if you got a female that's for you, you'll be a fool to cheat on her. No, that's not the right video. There's an interesting video that he posted, and long story short, he was pretty much saying in the video that when he's in a relationship with a woman, and she's the right one, whatever the case is, how good he treats her, blah 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 blah. And on top of that, he was just saying like, no, he was talking about the difference between a good woman and a bad woman, and that how pretty much sometimes men and women can't tell the difference because obviously they look so much the same on the outside. It's not until you be with the woman for a while to actually understand what she's really about, and whether it's a mistake or not a mistake, whatever, whatever. So he was pretty much giving tips to men and women about how to spot a good woman from a bad woman. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, every bitch is a bad bitch. Every bitch looks alike, or every woman looks alike, has the same body type, has the same figure, wears the same type of clothes, has the same type of shape, has the same type of friends. Blah 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 blah. For the generation we're in right now, not people from other generations. I'm not talking about baby boomers or Gen Xers or the secret generation or the silent generation or any other generation, but talking about the current generation, the whole love and hip hop social media generation, that era of what some people may call airheads. Not saying I'm calling anyone an airhead, but just full disclaimer going out for those populations of people that are so self-absorbed into looks and finer things and the celebrity life and views and points and living the social scene all the time. That have the carefree life. Those people, people doing it for a check on social media or on reality TV, like those people talking about that, and his whole point was you got to be able to spot the difference because, that could be your legacy, that could be your lifeline, that could be, your generations continuing, and generational curses possibly. And I've had kind of comments and viewpoints about these topics prior in the past, but they didn't get a lot of view play or like, content. Like they didn't really get a lot of buzz, and maybe because I was more inexperienced then and I didn't really have it together here on YouTube. I don't know, it could have been a whole bunch of things. I'm not really sure. But long story short, I found it interesting that, although he fits the type of man that's, disrespectful to women and has the strippers and everything in his videos and likes to talk about, strippers and vajayjay and throwing money at girls and, living that life of a rapper and a celebrity and, they're viewed to be able to do no wrong. And you gotta know the whole statistics about, NBA players and movie stars and rappers. Y'all get it. So to see him post a video talking about this was kind of interesting to me because I'm like, are you doing this for, because you really mean it? Or are you doing this because, it's humorous to you? Because I have seen other videos from him where, he's laughing about P Valley and the whole LGTB alphabet thing. And I'm a big P Valley fan, love the show. He gave respect to the show, but at the same time, he just said he wasn't prepared, he wasn't ready for it. He wished he would have knew the context of the show before he watched it, and he saw a couple scenes in the show that really made him feel some way. And he supports what they're doing, but he couldn't be a part of it as far as watching it or viewing it, whatever the case is. And some people from the show have some clapbacks allegedly. I don't have any tea or videos to share about that clapback or anything. And this is not about the clapback at all, but it's specifically about him speaking about how it would be helpful if men knew the difference between a good woman and a bad woman, because that would save them a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of stress, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So of course now I can't find this video, but it really made me want to talk about this because I'm like, you know what? There are so many different viewpoints and opinions and ideas and disrespectful terms and depressing, negative, ongoing, feelings and emotions about certain terms used towards women and how women are viewed or how women perceive themselves or the weight women carry on themselves as a woman, as a mother, as a single mother, as a divorced mother, as a widowed mother, whatever, whatever, whatever. Like, we have so much weight as a woman to be so many people and to look good all the time, doing all those things and never break the sweat and never have a moment and always be the provider or, the supporter or the nurturer. It's like it's a lot to be a woman. Not to say that it's not a lot to be a man, but there's high expectations and viewpoints and values of women, especially mothers. So it's a lot to deal with. So with all that said, I'm like, you know what? I want to know what is considered a good woman in 2022, because there's so many expectations for what a woman should be, what a mother should be, what a girlfriend should be, what a wife should be, you know, what a female should be in the industry on a level of a man. There's so many opinions, so many viewpoints on what a good woman is. Not a good woman as far as the professional, but a good woman as a person, as an individual. What is a good woman in 2022? Is it the provider? Is it the go-getter? Is it the hustler? Is it the woman who cooks? Is it the nurturer? Is it the woman that's all of those above? Or is it the woman that's all of those above and she's sexy and she's smart and she's brilliant at the same time and she's fit? Or is it the woman that does all of that plus has time to have a personal life with all her friends and go out and take trips, plus have a boyfriend that makes time for them? What is a good woman in 2022? The statistics and measures is just like outstanding and amazing, and still have to understand who you are at the end of the day outside of all those other hats you may place to different people and roles in your life. So my question is, what is a good woman? Is it any of those things? Is it none of those things? Is it depending on who the woman is to the man? I don't want to get into the whole sexes of alphabets and all those other things. What's up, Rakeem? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I really don't want to get into the whole topic about all that other stuff, about genders and roles and sexes, but we can throw that in there and say, partners or whatever at some point just to keep it, neutral and no disrespect to anyone. I don't mean to offend anyone, but I don't want to just lose focus on what I'm talking about because I'm getting caught up into, things like that. And then I'm just losing total focus about what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about tonight because for me it's just like it's a lot of expectations to be a woman, boy, and still have peace of mind and sanity for your own damn self. Really? So what do you guys all think? What do you all think? Because at the end of the day, you can always think about what the next person thinks a good woman should be. But if you're a woman, you're already convinced on you already knowing you're a good woman, despite what articles say, newspapers say, podcasts say, people say. You already feel like you've had your milestones and your struggles and your hardships and your adversity in life to get you to where you are. So who can tell you you're not a good woman, right? So what do you guys think about it? I see a comment in the chat from Jose. He says you can 20 people to describe what is a good woman, you can get 20 different views. Absolutely, you sure can. Same thing if you ask somebody what is a good man. People want to talk about the materialistic shit. They want to talk about the looks of how the man got to look, what his beefcake size got to be like, what his head mouth game got to like. It gets crazy. Sorry, maybe this is why I'm saying KFIT stuff like this, but yeah, it gets crazy. Some people just want to know that they're going to be taken care of. He's going to make sure she doesn't have to work for the rest of her life. Some people want to, make sure that, their kids going to be taken care of. There's going to be a legacy for their kids. Some people just thinking about only selfish things, what they can get out of a person. Can they get a car out of a person? Can they get a house out of a person? Can they get a diamond out of a person? Can they get, earrings, necklaces, shoes, bags, vacations, procedures? There's so many different, ways we can look at it and see it and view it. It's a lot, but it goes both ways at the end of the day too. But I feel like at the end of the day, a good woman can look a different way in every culture or in every race or in every community. She can look a different way, or she could be the same, and how fun is that if every good woman is the same exact woman inside and out, right? So the question is, who defines what is a good woman? Why is society saying what a good woman's supposed to look like? Do we even believe in what is a good woman, what is a good man? Are we still basing it back on what we heard from the past generations, family upbringings, or what we hear from our fellas and our homegirls when we chilling and with people and friends and stuff like that? Or what? Or is these statistics and data and viewpoints of people and researchers who probably even haven't had sex or had children or have relationships even be even these viewpoints? So to the chat, I'm gonna drop the link for any of you guys who are interested in commenting on what I'm talking about. Please feel free to join your opinions. I'm gonna definitely drop the link really soon. And I'm so surprised. I'm learning to talk a whole freaking lot now. Your girl is going dry mouth and all. So anybody who would like to join the panel, you are now free to do so. I have just dropped the link in the chat. And yeah, please feel free to pull up. Apologies, guys. I did want to show my face today. I got my little banner up in my room in the background, got my ring light up and my second ring light on the side. And right next to that, I got both my little makeup bags that I did not apply to my face, and I have not done my hair. I've been outside. So yeah. So I have my first guest who's joining me on the panel. You guys know him because he is going to be talking a lot about how the season's been changing very frequently now. Please all meet Mr. Jose Negron.
Good evening, KFIT. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm okay, but we're not going to talk about the climate. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the subject. If there's such a thing as a good woman in 2022? Like I said before, you do have different definitions, but in general, a good woman is someone. Now, in terms of relationship, a good woman is someone that's true to herself and true to her man. And what I mean true to her man is transparent as far as what she's looking in a man and what she can offer a man. Okay. Because, some women get upset when men ask what they bring to the table. But just as you are interested in someone that's going to enhance your life and not take away, the man is looking for someone that will enhance his life as well.
I agree as well, but in general, even if it's not a woman to be in a relationship, what does a good woman look like? Like we overemphasize, what the sex is of what the good or the best, partner you will get will look like and what they have to have the qualities, whatever. So can someone even explain what what that means specifically? Is it about her finances? Is it about her looks? Is it about her values? Is it about her loyalty? Is it about her just because she's going to become someone's wife that makes her a good woman?
Well, I this is how I look at it. I mean, a good woman will have her own core values and is truthful to those values. Because we have to understand that, just like men have different core values, women have different core values as well. However, if a woman is true to herself, true to a set of values that make herself unique, she is a good woman.
I like that. That's a good response. That's exactly what I'm looking for. It shouldn't be about the superficial stuff. It should be about the core values of the individual, not the expectations of, the physicality of it.
Well, the reality is this: for the most part, men are visual creatures. So therefore, I mean, we're gonna focus on a girl that looks cute, that looks sexy, that has some curves and what have you. But that's only the superficial. I mean, there's more beneath that. I mean, what values does the woman bring in terms of friendship, in terms of being a coworker, and in terms of a relationship as far as being a girlfriend or possible wife material?
Right, absolutely. I just think that, it's a lot of derogatory terms used towards women nowadays as far as, what society may say about certain classifications or groups of women, especially in 2022 with all the ratchetness is going on and all the irresponsible sex and babies that's coming out of the world right now because the pandemic has produced a lot of that. Honestly, being very transparent, a lot of people were like just living their best life in the pandemic, literally when we were like on shutdown, lockdown. And it's just like there's so many terms, and it's like everyone can easily be classified as, not being a good woman. So it's like, okay, if every woman is classified as this large group of ain't s woman or trifling or 304s or skeezers, whatever you want to call it, hoes, any derogatory negative term you can call a woman who is allegedly not married or has children or, has no man to help her, whatever kind of term you want to throw in there about a woman, what makes up the best woman, because it's like, if that's the case, good women don't exist, the way society may portray it. Is a lot of pressure to be a good woman, and no one can even say what a good woman is. All we can say is that her core values should be in the right place.
Yeah, well, the problem is you do have some women that glorifies the hookup culture, that glorifies being a 304, that glorifies just looking as men as walking ATMs and getting all that they can get from a man, and just the fact that men should accept women for what they are without the women taking accountability. I mean, regardless whether regarding the poor choices that we make. Now, if men was to repeat the same stuff that some women have said in social media, I mean, they were crucified. But the reality is this: not all women are like that. Unfortunately, their voices get drowned out by the 304s and the modern women, and this I don't need a man, all that kind of stuff, and a man has to measure up and have all these crazy standards, while women could do whatever and doesn't have to offer anything other than a BJJ. But the reality, they are good women. It's just that unfortunately their voices are not being heard.
Amen. Shout out to you, Jose, and going to all the good women out there that our voices are not being heard because there's too many of these other ones stomping around us trying to take our place.
If you take a look now, I know some women are going to get upset with Kevin Samuels, and they perceive him as being anti women, and particularly anti African American women. But if you really sit down and observe the conduct and behavior of some of these ladies, I mean, these are ladies who have made poor choices as far as relationships, poor choices as far as bearing children to the Pookies and the Rayways and whatnot. And then some of them, I mean, actually, where they were still married, trying to find someone else to get, to trade up. So, and again, unfortunately, the good women are their voice is not being heard because the ladies who stay out who shout with the loudest voice, I don't need a man, and the man gotta take me as who I am. So that's a sad reality.
Absolutely. So I just found the video I was looking for earlier that inspired me to talk about this because I have talked about this kind of similar before in prior Wine and FaceTimes, and probably the title was a little bit different. But I found the video I was looking for is also on YouTube. So I'm going to try to share my screen right now, Jose, to show you guys, why I want to talk about this. So 1 second, okay?
Hmm.
See if I remember this. I think it's going to be Chrome.
We got to start treating.
Could you hear that? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. I'm going to go
Yeah, I
back.
can
All
hear
right.
you.
All right, can you hear the video?
The good girl or
No, I don't.
the real woman, whatever.
Now I do.
Okay.
However you want to categorize. We got to start treating them better. And I'm gonna tell you why I say this. I watched it with the females. See, the females, if we don't change this, we're gonna follow the same rabbit hole that the females in, right? See, the females didn't want the good guy. The good guy, he wasn't lit enough. Let's just call it what it is. He wasn't lit enough. The guy who just wanted to be a family man and probably go to church and, a provider, a protector. Some want that. I'm talking about the majority. They didn't want the good guy because he wasn't lit enough. So what they did, they went and got the lit nigga. And in most cases, the nigga that's lit, they just call it what it is. He's just the dog ass nigga, to be perfectly honest. So now when they got the dog nigga, the lit nigga, in order for them not to feel played by the lit nigga, this was all the buy me a Birkin and make them pay for it before you get it to them, girl. That's where all that came from, because the female just didn't want to feel like they got played out the situation. But now they stuck with the dog nigga. And in order to match his energy, they got to match his dogness. They got, in order to match his energy, his wholeness. I hate to say this, but they got to try to out-hoe him now. And fellas, the same thing gonna happen to us if we can't figure out how to treat these good girls and these real women better. The ones who career driven and the ones who ain't lit, fake lit on the ground, the ones who ain't fake happy on the ground, the ones who will give you their last if they had it, the ones who care about family, and I'm gonna tell you, if we don't, and then we continue to treat the good girls wrong and the bad girls right, we gonna be in the same position the females in. You just gonna be left with the lit, no the female. That's just always gonna happen.
Okay, so I was watching that video. I got a little crush on him, but I was watching that and I was like, I feel him a little bit. And then I was like, oh, sigh, that's the millennial generation. That's this generation that has that whole mindset. But again, it goes back to all the conversations we heard about the 304s and, like he said, the girls buy me a Birkin, don't give him none unless he do this, that, and the third for you first. It goes back into that again. So I'm just like, I can relate to that. I respect that he said that, he's keeping it 100% honest and real. Everyone's not going to keep it 100% honest and real. That does happen to a certain population of people who get caught up in that little rap hole, loophole, in them situations, whatever the case is. So what do you think about that video? I know it was like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but did you get anything from that video, Jose?
It was very, very interesting. But the problem is this, and again, you have certain women, and again, certain women. So I don't want the ladies to start, crying to have me lynched. But certain ladies, they have these crazy expectations. In fact, I've seen videos where they want men to fly them all over the country on first class. And then, of course, these men, they're expecting to get a little something, something, if you know what I mean. And then they're getting upset because they actually pay for these ladies' airfare to travel, and they're not getting anything in return. First of all, ladies, why are you accepting airfare tickets from someone that you don't know, and then not expecting that if you accept that airline ticket round trip, that there's not going to be any strings attached? Good evening, Ramon.
Hey, Ramon.
Hey, KFIT. Oh, my bad. Is it Kai Chell? Is that what your actual name is?
My name is Kishel. Yeah, my name is Kishel.
Okay. It's just that you put it on kind of like then your name, and it's just that I'm used to saying KFIT. It's Kishel. My bad.
I mean, you can still say KFIT. I'm gonna figure it out. I was talking about that earlier in the beginning.
Okay. Hey, Don Jose, what's going on? And Cashel, I appreciate you letting me on your
Well,
panel. Mhm.
No
well,
problem.
it's another extremely well, it's another extremely humid day in New York. But then again,
Mhm.
not everything lasts forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, today it was like 110 down here. I thought that it was gonna start to cool down just a little bit, but apparently it's gonna stay up the temperature for a little bit longer. I mean, now during September it should come down a little bit, down to a more comfortable 100 degrees. So I'm looking forward to that because I mean, if it goes down to 95, then that's best. That's good. That's almost like being back in the Caribbean.
Well,
Hmm.
well, today it was an extremely humid day in the upper 80s. But it is what it is.
That's not hot.
Um,
That's not hot. That's not hot.
It was just a little humid for some reason.
Okay. Well. Where will that humidity come from? Because okay, yes, I know that you live close to something that is supposed to be a beach, but but I don't know if it has to do with that. But then again, it's you understand the weather up there. Down here, because it's close to more arid areas, it can get really hot, but it's kind of dry. It's a little bit more dry. People think that it gets humid. To me, it doesn't get that humid. It's more dry because it's close to arid areas. So yeah.
Ramon, did you
okay.
see the video share screen I played with the guy talking about the men and the women?
Okay. You know what, Kishel? My bad, but I didn't understand what the guy said. I couldn't understand it. I mean, my bad.
Okay, no problem. Long story short, he was pretty much saying that if men don't start valuing the good girls
Hmm.
versus the bad girls, that men are gonna find themselves in the same situation women find themselves in when they pick the wrong guy and then they end up with the bad guy that they ultimately end up competing with and not being in love with because long story short, you're chasing the wrong person for the wrong reasons. And you're not
Hmm.
valuing what you have at home initially and nurturing that. So you
Yeah.
find yourself in a situation where you pick the wrong person, and then at that point, you're matching that person's energy. And most of the time, that person is like a meatball, a shit face, a loser, a cheater, a hoe, a whore, like the worst. And then that woman becomes like the worst version of herself, kind of, because now she's competing with the man.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Unfortunately, the way that we usually, us persons, human beings, when we are younger, when we start out, we are on like more of a pure state in when it comes to how we think, our emotions, our hearts. We're on a little bit of a pure state, but as we start getting with experiences, we become a little bit we can be a little more damaged depending on who we get involved with because you have heard it before, the good dude who was a nice guy, uh, but got betrayed, got used, got taken for a ride, got, got mistreated and all, and that has a tendency to cause a guy to become a jerk, and that's out of necessity. But the thing is that with women like the jerks. So that's kind of like a growth for the better in the eyes of some women. Not all, of course, but in the eyes of some women, he has become a better version of himself. Even if that means becoming a jerk, becoming an asshole, because because a lot of women love the jerks and the assholes. They call them the chats, the brats, the tyrones, the sacks. They have a few names for them. The so-called alpha male, which I wish people will stop using that term. I think it's kind of like waning the whole thing about alpha male this and alpha male that, and and I believe. I strongly believe that the use of that term might be waning, but that happens with us guys. I mean, we might start out being the nice guys. I'll give you an example. What happened with Tupac? Look up the interview that was done with him where he was still in high school, and he was like this nice guy. He was very nice. He wasn't like a nice guy in that interview when he was still in school, and then check out other interviews after that, how different he was. And in that interview when he was still in school, he was talking about how he would try to talk to girls, and girls will say that they will tell him that he was very nice, and maybe that's why they weren't that interested in him. But later on, what happened with him? He became more of the kind of like the adopted the thug image, and that made him more appealing. You see what I'm saying? That's an example of what I'm talking about. And when it comes to the women, um, the women, maybe they'll start out being nice and all of that, but it can be a combination of one or two things. Either there was she got together with the wrong guy, did her in bad, and she started to become wiser to it when it comes to guys, and started learning how to play the games. Or maybe she did somewhat, if she's more of a modern woman, she started learning to play the game at an earlier age from her mother. I mean, that it could be one of the two. I'm not saying that applies to all, but it can be one of the two. And if they were did wrong, and a guy did her wrong, and that made her change, yeah, she got together with one of the jerks that I was mentioning, or one of the assholes, and did her dirty, and that made her change. And then she started to become more of like a female player. She started playing games with men out of revenge. Uh, that can happen. But yeah, we can attribute the cause to one of those two things. Either she was already taught to be into playing games, or a dude did her wrong, and that made her change.
Yeah, I for sure. I remember that interview as well, and that guy was pretty much saying that, but I guess his accent and his slang made it hard for you to understand what he was saying. But he was pretty much saying the same thing you're saying as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, okay.
Jose, any comments or opinions or viewpoints you want to add?
Well, first, okay, again, the fact of the matter is, you have, just like there are some women that love bad boys. Okay, there are some men that love bad women for, it could be for the adventure, it could be the spiciness, it could be what have you. But nevertheless, that does not take away the fact that good women do exist. It's just that unfortunately their voices get drowned out by the bad ones. Good evening, Gigi and Denise.
Very true. I'm happy to hear you guys say that because I'm like, you know what, all us ain't like that. And when I saw his video, I'm like, you know what? At least there's someone acknowledging it. Not that he can speak for the whole race of rappers or black men or men in period, men period. Because again, some people may not understand what the hell he's saying. He doesn't even get his message. So, but for me, I follow him. I see a lot of his little videos. They release a lot of short videos, but he has a little tea he be dropping sometime. And I found that one interesting. I'm like, okay, why don't more men think this way? Is he the only man that thinks this way?
I'm sure that there are other men that um, that think that think that way. It's just that unfortunately, um, sometimes the voices of reason get drowned out.
Yeah, unfortunately, for sure. Well, people, this might be a short stream because I thought I would have more people that will be joining to talk about, what a good woman looks like in 2022. And I know it's a little bit late. So, I just primarily want to discuss, the viewpoints from various people about what they think a good woman is. So, at this point, I'm going to speak about my viewpoint, what I think. So I think, a good woman has nothing to do with her appearance. I think a good woman has, a lot to do with her core values, like Jose Negron said. I think, a good woman is a woman that, should be respected, whether she's in a relationship or not, she's the type of woman that, at work, in her neighborhood, around friends and families, like that aura is just set around her. She doesn't have to impress or look a certain way or act a certain part, to be accepted. Like she speaks for her own, just like when a person walks into the room that has that star quality, like with a good woman and a good man, like that presence is felt. It doesn't have to be fabricated or fluffed or authenticated, and it doesn't look like a bad bitch. It's not the girls that have the video vixen bodies or wear pounds of makeup or gets the bags and the jewelry. Is not her. That's not, the good woman. The good woman, like Jose says, has core values. She's about something. She's just not out here dotting and botting or whatever you want to call it. Like she stands for something, she represents something, she'll be leaving a legacy, she has values for herself. Like she's not impressed with, trying to look and appear to a certain classification of what reality TV may say. So I appreciated his video. Again, I know he doesn't speak for all men, and I know there are men who think this way as well. But I really think that, we need to stop putting so many labels and viewpoints and statistics on the whole good woman thing. And I know men will say the same thing about the whole good men, bad men, because you guys do get dog. I definitely will agree. You guys definitely get dog. But good women do still exist. And they just don't look like what some people desire right now because everyone's all caught up into the lifetime of reality TV and social media and these fake images and, you know, non-realistic people. So would anyone like to comment about anything I just said?
Really quick, I wanted to mention, and you were talking about, well, it was more about the example that Jose was talking about when it comes to getting flown out to places. There are certain young women that need to understand that that is very dangerous because they are accepting invitations from somebody who lives in another part of the country, so they have to get on a plane and they're accepting an invitation from somebody that they haven't met before in person. That's very dangerous. I mean, they're really asking. Uh, well, I'm not saying asking for trouble, but they're really taking a big risk. They're really putting themselves in a potentially dangerous situation. I mean, you don't do that. That really defies common sense. I mean, uh, it's just not something that you do. I mean, you know what I mean, Kay.
Absolutely. Yeah,
You
like
don't you
I
don't
would
take that
never.
you don't take that kind of invitation from somebody that you haven't met before. Yes, I have gotten somebody to fly out to see me, but it's somebody that I have already met before. Somebody that I have already known for a time. I mean, and that's something that I'm working on actually right now. I'm making arrangements to get somebody to come out here for to see me. But there's somebody that I have already known for a long time, so there is a trust there already, and the other person knows that she's safe, and I'm gonna be safe because it's somebody that I trust. I wouldn't fly out somebody that I don't trust, and so there has to be that. It's just common sense. But there are some of these young women that, because of the maybe they're being driven by the sense of adventure, that accepting these invitations from somebody that they saw on the screen on their phone, and and they are getting on these trips and they're taking these risks, and we are seeing some of the aftermath. I mean, we're seeing some of the situations in which there are these young ladies that they show up at the destination, and then they don't want to hold up their end of the deal. They knew. The thing is that they knew what the guy wanted, but they still want to play dumb when they get there because they want to be flown out, yes, and they want to be taken out, yes. They want to be treated with things, yes. They want to be taken out. They want to be shown around. They want to party. They want to, but the guy is counting on something. And deep down in the back of their mind, I'm positive that they know about that they know it, but they want to play dumb about it, thinking that they don't have to hold that end of the deal. And they're taking a risk. They're taking a risk. There are certain guys that are crazy and they're not gonna care. Something could happen with her. I mean, yeah, some of these street guys might have a couple of dollars to fly somebody out, but I'm gonna be expecting something.
I'm so paranoid. A guy could never fly me out anywhere, like, period. Like, again, like you, Ramon, it has to be someone that, we already had that established connection. We know each other. Like, that's hella dangerous. Like, this is why people be missing. People wilding. Like, that's crazy. Like, I would never even want someone to fly me out anywhere. I would feel like that's a scam anyway. Like, I overthink. I don't trust nothing. Everything that sounds too good to me. Like, what's the catch? No.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, there is
Well,
a catch. We have to be realistic on that.
okay, but you know something? The fact of the matter is, some people will do almost anything, for that 15 million fame in social media, but they don't understand the ramification of those actions. And some people, um, they don't know what's called accountability for their actions. Lately, I've been doing some soul searching of my own, and the fact of the matter is, you know, we all have to be accountable for our actions, and we have to all deal with reality as is.
Right.
Amen. And we gotta be safe. No bozo stuff. Someone's flying you out, you flying something out your body too, or you about to fly to a different position that you didn't expect. Something's happening.
You know, that's very true because look what people. Okay, let me. I'm gonna try to say in a way that's not judgmental. Okay. Um, when we are approached with certain situations and certain things that we could be offered, we have to sit back and really think. What is the consequences if we take these certain actions? Okay, what is the consequences if we take a certain route, or if we take certain things of that nature? And because if we're not careful, we can be in situations where it could expose ourselves to harm. And we hear every day where people are going crazy, and we're dealing with a society where there's many people that have mental health issues. And and actually I came across a quotation that I adopted this week, which is, never underestimate an enemy nor overestimate an ally. Meaning,
Yeah.
be mindful of what people can do, and not to be dependent on others, learn to become self-reliant.
No, that's good. That's good. I mean, we are living in a time, yes. When it comes to the ladies, we're living in a time where, yeah, to having that self reliance and all of that, that's perfectly fine. That's good. That's good. It's just that I'm not. I don't feel too comfortable when it comes to certain women that go around calling themselves the boss bees and all of that. That's to me, it's kind of like a red flag, and that gives me the impression of women like that being somewhat masculine. And I like my woman feminine. I mean, uh, I grew up in a culture where women know how to look feminine, but they can still be headstrong. Now, I'm not saying that our friend Denise is like that, but she knows what I'm talking about. And so, kind of having those weights, that's not gonna go against who you are as a woman, and being feminine, because that's attractive. That's attractive to men femininity, natural femininity, but still have your wits about you.
Well, there's nothing. Okay, if you're going to be a quote unquote boss lady, be mindful of what are the consequences involved and be prepared to accept those consequences, because it's all sound nice and good to be a boss, a boss lady, but unfortunately sometimes we don't think about the consequences, um
Hmm.
you know of our actions.
Yeah. Yep.
I hate when girls use that term boss bitch, boss lady. Like, shut up. You sound so ignorant. You sound stupid. You're not boss of nothing. Like, I hate when people say that. Like, it gets under my skin. I just look at them with like the arch eyebrows and the eyes. Like, oh.
No, no, no. But that's for real. That's for real. You're 100% correct. I mean, it just sends the wrong message out, and not only that, it's like very ghetto, but it sends the wrong message out. This is somebody who is like very masculine, and I as a man, I like to be the one with the masculinity. I need my woman to have the femininity so we can balance each other out, to strike a balance. Why would I want to be? Why would I want to be with a masculine woman? That's like being. That to me is almost like being gay. I might as well, because it's the same thing. I don't wanna be with somebody who is uh, whose mind is like a dude. I don't wanna be like with somebody like that. Period.
I'm looking at the chat. I like what they said in the chat. Denise says, I hate when they be using diva and queen. And then MK says, they can't be a boss when they ain't got no employees.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no, but the thing about the diva, that was back in the day. And that was kind of like back when I was younger. That they will use the diva all over the place. But that's basically what goddess means. If you look it up, diva is Latin for goddess. But in what's the word that the boss bees throw around? Goddess. Now, I'm not talking about our friend Golden Goddess. That's okay. She uses that for her platform. But I have had the chance to talk to Golden, and she's cool. She's cool. I mean, it doesn't get up to her head like that. But there are certain types of ladies that they keep calling themselves a goddess this and goddess that, and they actually believe it because that leads them to believe that they have a sense of superiority over men. And if a woman is a goddess, that means that a mortal man is inferior. So they convince themselves of that, and I hate that. I hate that when they call themselves something like that. The thing is that there are so many queens and goddesses and empress and duchesses and any and every other title that can be attributed to a woman. They want to call themselves that. and we as men, we mere mortals, we're supposed to bow down to them. That's what that's about. And no, I'm not doing it. I'm not
I,
doing it.
I
Um,
definitely feel you.
you
Go
know,
ahead, Jose.
I don't have a problem with anyone having a healthy level of self-esteem, male or female, and they value themselves. When it gets to when it goes off the deep end, is that okay? When for okay, and again, I'm trying to be very careful in what I say because unfortunately, at the times what I've said has been misinterpreted. Um, like for example, for the men, men can think of themselves as the alpha male or the supreme alpha male, and then the women like the queens and the divas and what have you. I mean,
Mhm.
that esteem going, growing steroids.
No, but that can be applied to the guys. Those guys that go on and on and on talking about how much of an alpha male this and alpha male that, and then alpha nothing. Maybe a male, but then no alpha. So you can say the same thing for certain guys. They always calling themselves alpha male. They ain't no alpha. They ain't alpha nothing.
Yeah,
Do you guys
Yeah.
know
that's true.
somebody named Pitbull Gang?
The what?
Do you
The
guys know somebody named Pitbull Gang?
um
No.
No, we don't. I don't know anybody about that name. Uh,
Okay. I'm like, okay, I'm not letting
Okay.
them in.
Okay. What you?
is
Okay.
there?
What you can? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's just that there may be a way where you can put out kind of like a picture that hides the image that is being broadcast, and maybe only you can see them. The whoever it is that you have backstage. It's
Yeah,
kind
it
of
looks
like
like a Pitbull dog, and it has like a
Okay.
leash
What you
on.
can? Okay. What you can? Okay. What you can do is you can ask the person in the backstage to cam up, and if the person doesn't cam up, then don't let the person on the platform.
Oh, okay. I see who it is now. All right, you can change your thing back. My bad. I'm like,
uh,
I mean,
uh,
I always try to go out there, but for no offense, it's just something funny.
Okay, yeah. Dennis was talking about using an overlay. That's what I meant to say. All right, using an overlay just in case somebody wants to get cute and show something inappropriate. Uh, but yeah.
I don't
It's
even
like
think I know how to do that. I'm gonna be honest.
I need to learn how to do that too. It's just that I don't get that many visitors. I don't get that many panelists. But
I
maybe I
mean,
need to know that
I mean,
trick too.
the only thing you could really do is just change your own picture. I mean, and change, like, how should I say, your name once in a while. I do it to Radical as well. At first, he didn't know who it was because I guess on his last show, I went up and I tried to put a picture of a horse, and I called myself Mr. Ed, but you already knew it was me, so I was like, oh well.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, okay. So we
Yeah,
talking about do good
Okay.
women still exist tonight, and I'm about to actually
yeah,
wrap it up. I think. So you have
eh,
anything you can add to the conversation?
yes, they do. They do exist, but outside of New York City.
And what does a good woman look like in
Okay. Oh,
2022?
All right,
What's it all
all
that?
right. In my definition, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm a I'm a male chauvinist or anything like that, but a woman, a good woman respects a man and not try to emasculate him. A good woman is one that you and her could actually come to a common ground without
Mhm.
all arguing or anything like that. Also, when you're looking at a good woman, you have to see how she interacts with people and if she has motherly qualities. Because if you have kids with the wrong woman, you're gonna have like 18 years of stress in your bank account being pulled out
Mm,
all the time, and
yeah.
you might possibly serve jail time just because it's her word and she knows how to manipulate.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, you guys. I'm in New York, so I don't want to get, I don't want you guys to get mad at me, but I have to agree with with what Denise just said. What you're highlighting, Kay. I mean, and you, Kay, you seem to be very sweet, and I would love to meet you sometime. It's just that what Denise is saying, I kind of agree. I kind of
I mean,
agree with
I
that.
mean, it's a lot of roughneck pit bull looking girls out here. I'm not gonna lie, that look just like the pit bull gang picture. There is, but it ain't all of us.
I
Okay.
mean, the thing is though, it's like with the New York City chick, you have to come correct, or you don't come correct at all. I mean,
Mhm.
let's say for example, right? Let's say you talk to a female and she rocks with you. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, you know, she likes your personality, or whatever the case may be. A New York City chick, you have to buy her Jordans, Fendi, and everything like that, and you have to almost have to get her a car in order for her to go and date you. But then,
Yeah,
like,
that's an entitlement.
but then when you and her get intimate, you find out that she was not all that to begin with, and you spend
So
20.
very demanding, and the box is trash. Oh no, no,
Yes,
no, 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 no. She gotta come correct on that area. If I have to do for her, she's gonna have to do for me, and then some.
I mean, like for example, you have some females that be like, "Hey, I want to be your wife." I'm like,
Mm.
"Really? So do you know how to cook, clean, and can we actually build? If not, no." I'm
The
like,
answer better be yes.
and and and, and then have the females. The reason why I guess certain in New York, some
Hmm.
females are cool, but let's say this: talking about the ruthlessness. This is how NY women are ruthless. If they don't like you, but yet they have a child, and you trying to make sure that your child is properly fed and everything like that, the next thing you know, the mother sees that you're a good father. What she will do, and I've heard a lot of cases about this. Like you could be walking down the street with your child. She'll pay somebody to shoot you just in front of the child, just so you would so just so she could put that joint ingrained in the son that, oh yeah, that you was nothing.
Mm.
That's how ruthless women are in New York. They
Oh
will tell
hell,
you
hell no.
you could be having a nice life and everything like that, right? And you
Yeah.
think that everything's good. Next thing you know, the chick might be getting banged out by somebody, come home, bang you out, and then the next thing you know, you got an STD. You don't even know what happened.
Oh.
So
Oh.
Hello,
I've heard
Rakeem.
stories. What up, Rakeem?
Yo, yo, what's up? What's up to
Hello,
everybody in the
Rocky.
on the
Well,
panel? What's up, KFIT?
What's up?
Man,
I do.
Don, that sound like that's is that New York or that's just the ghetto? That's the
Damn, damn, that sounds like a
um,
movie. That sounds like a ghetto movie.
um,
Come on, Jose, jump
um,
in.
I'm being, I'm being very, I'm being very careful because I already know what happened at last week's episode, so I don't want another repeat. Just as simply expressing an opinion.
Just press it.
Of course,
Go
of
on.
course. I was transparent here saying I don't know how to do what y'all was telling me, so we all learning.
Yeah, well, look, but the fact of the matter is, yeah, there is a lot of New York women that are ruthless, that have no scruples. I mean, you got to be truthful to that. And of course, there are good and bad in every community.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it fair to say we all saying that good women do exist?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It depends on where you
Oh,
or
yes,
where a
definitely.
man looks. I mean, that's why to be perfectly honest, I was never too interested in dating women here in the States. The women that I have dated originally came, most of them originally came from somewhere else, and then I would meet them over here. I mean, most of the ones that I have dated have actually been from the Caribbean, from different parts of the Caribbean, and I'm from the Caribbean, so culturally I could relate to them better. Now, I did date one who was North American, one woman who was North American when I was in Mississippi, and for the most part, she could be very nice, but she had a little bit of crazy in her. I mean, the moment I would disagree with her on something, that clause will come out. So she could be a little difficult. We have remained friends, but there are moments in which I say something and she disagrees, and instead of just disagreeing like an adult, she disagrees like a kid, and she starts kind of like raising her voice a little bit, and well, what are you talking about? And then trying to put me in my place and not
Well,
understanding. I'm a
was she
grown man.
white or was she white or black?
Well, okay, she was Black American, but I don't think that will matter. She was still an American. I will expect that from a white woman too. I mean, I have never been with a white American woman.
Well, you should try.
Hakeem, I want to know from you, what do you think a good woman looks like in 2022? We were talking about that earlier. I know you probably wasn't here, but everyone on the panel, except for I think Ramon and you, have said what a good woman looks like in 2022. Not her looks, but the term good woman.
Well, this in this day and age, a good woman is just somebody that's loyal, somebody that's willing to put your feelings on the table to, cater to your feelings, and vice versa. I got a chance to listen to some of the conversation, and I believe, yeah, it's a lot of people that are caught up in this Instagram wave and in what's going on with social media and different things. And we want a good quality person, but with the Instagram package. And I think that's going uh, for both genders at this particular time. And a lot of the good people, like my boy Ramon was saying, it's not about race or anything. Just a lot of the good people are lost in translation because everything is so with what's going on with you. You have a lot of the people that's done damage to the opposite. Well, mostly I'm gonna just keep it real. It's a lot of women that's done damage to a lot of men. That's the ones saying that they can't find a good man. And so you just have a lot of the people that's out here playing games, and then these are the people that's out here saying that they can't find anybody good. It's not the people that's actually looking for a partner or looking for somebody to be with. But and to to make it plain, it's just a person that's loyal, that we're gonna ride together, and we're gonna make sure all of our business is handled, and we're gonna respect each other in a relationship. As long as you're not doing anything that's backhanded or trying to, play these games and having a little side piece or different things like that. And, you know, it's not much that a man can really ask for these days in 2022 anyway. So,
Anybody like to comment?
Well, I think that the 18th lady, he's actually correct, because what a man needs in his house, thank God that I have that, is that he needs peace in his house. It's too bad that he's fighting the rest of the world. He has to fight a war in his house too.
Oh hell no! I'm not having that. 100% agree. I mean, a man needs to be able to come home, and the home is actually a home where there is gonna be peace, there is gonna be quiet, there is gonna be somebody with there with him that is gonna be cooperative. I know we're living in a time where you cannot use the a certain S word because it's too triggering. But a man who is in his role, playing his role, he's doing what is expected to do. I mean, personally and society wise, and he's being the head of a household. Then we as men, we do need the significant other to be cooperative, and we're not coming home to have to argue with our significant other. We're already dealing with a lot of shit outside of the home. So coming home and having to deal with shit in the home, we would rather be by ourselves. I know I would. I know that's what I would prefer. I would rather
I mean,
stay single and alone, and I have to take care of myself in all ways, and cooking for myself and cleaning up after myself, doing my own laundry. I'll do all of that if that means my peace. But I would rather share the life with somebody.
I mean, yes, because thank God that I got married
Mhm.
because shoot, after my mom passed away, and I
Hmm.
got played and everything like that, I was like, you know what? I was just about to go that route until I met my lady because
Hmm.
I was like, I'll be honest, I didn't really care. I was like, yo, I'm gonna live the single life, commit some crimes, you know, that's where I was going. But then when I met my lady, she actually said like just being with her like throughout the years before we got married, she told me that being with her, I've seen that there's more than life. But because prior to that, prior to my mother's passing or anything like that, I was in a relationship for 7 years, and we had some bad times, but the bad times had started only after one assumption, or well, I'll just say that it was a hairdresser that told her about what my people group do. So
Hmm.
one
Hmm.
day, my ex, she went and she always liked to go to the Dominican hair salons, right? So she was like, oh my boyfriend is Dominican and everything like that. She was so happy with with I guess their relationship at the time. It was just the beginning. So the lady went up and say, "You're dating a Dominican? They like a lot of women." From the moment that lady went up and told her that, all of our arguments in that 7 year period of the relationship was like, "Oh, you Dominican men like a lot of women." I'm like, okay, so what I'm supposed to like, men? And we always
Hi,
used to get into like,
Denise.
hey, Denise,
Hey, KFIT, how are you? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Um,
we're
Hi,
Shout
good.
out to
we're
my sis
here, doing
Denise.
okay.
I wanted to
Okay.
chime in with the whole topic. You know, I think good women do exist, but I mean, of course, the definition I think varies from man to man. Um, but I think, like in the very basics, it's there's two components, and this is my opinion, of course. There's two components. Either they exist in less developed countries, right? Because in less developed countries there's more dependency on men, and also they can exist in more developed countries as long as they're willing to be held accountable and check themselves. Like if you are more on the mature side, unfortunately, today, I'm speaking from my experience, of course. I agree with what Ramon was saying. In the Puerto Rican culture, we are raised to be as well strong and independent and be violent, and that is something that's considered laughable. There's a lot of comedy made based on the abuse of men. That's something that's made as a comedy. But if it was on reverse, it wouldn't be funny. It would be abuse, misogynistic, charges need to be brought up, etc., etc. You know, so the more you see a country being developed and urbanized and industrialized, you're gonna start noticing that women are able to do more things. So they will start living under this fake illusion of independence because men are not as needed. Whereas when you go to least developed countries, the dependence on men is still very prevalent because there's not a lot of technology there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see
Makes
what you mean.
absolute sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And in kind of like the more developed countries, the women have been empowered more to be more on the same level as the men. So they do develop kind of like a man-like mentality. They want to do the same things that men do, particularly in places like the Western Europe and here in the United States, where so many women are trying to do all of the same things that men do, including serial dating.
Yeah.
And we can have a conversation as to the consequences of that, but on women versus the consequences of serial dating on men. It's not the same.
I believe it's not the same, but it's similar. It's because this is the thing. In our cultures, we have been taught that it doesn't affect men and it only affects women. And I disagree with it to a degree, right? I believe if I would have known what I know today when I was 17 years old, before I even thought about having relationships and dating or anything like that, I would have waited to only date my husband and only be with him. I would have definitely waited because there's a lot of things that you will save yourself from that are not necessarily needed. You don't like, I can't say that I needed those experiences or that they will serve my husband today in any way. They barely serve me. I know for a fact it doesn't serve him as well. Now, when you look at these guys talking about the serial dating in men and how it doesn't affect them, it's true, emotionally. Now, that has a downside as well because a man that becomes comfortable with detachment, it will never be a fit husband and a fit father. That is a reality. Why? Because a married life, and I'm saying this as a married person, right? The tasks of a married husband and his mindset is very different than that of a player. A man that just dates, he can stay there and his emotions will not get damaged, but he will hinder his capacity for long-term relationships. And that it's just science. And but I'm not, that's the damage that we suffer as women is different because our mental health starts declining with serial dating. That is the difference between males serial dating versus women. Men don't get mental illness as much as we do. We do because to us, we're not built for that. A man can simply say, I'm never going to get married and not think about, depression or ending his life or having bipolar disorder or going into this psychotic outbreaks because they are designed to even be solo. They can function like that, but a woman cannot. We can, that's something that as much as we want to say, yeah, I can, I never want to get married and I can do this bus chick thing along, that is completely false. We are not designed for that. We will never be.
Yeah, because I mean, when it comes to women, that we can just observe that the women need to socialize more. They always need to be around other people more. Men can be for a even like a short period of time or a somewhat extended period of time by himself and be at peace. I
Mhm.
mean, but women, you can see it. You can see it that from the moment that they wake up, they be on their phones and communicating and calling somebody and making plans to hang out with the friends, girlfriends, significant others. They need to be around people and socialize more.
Yeah.
Because if you take a woman and you isolate her, it won't take long for her to start feeling lonely and to start feeling getting depressed because
Self
of it.
sabotage. Self sabotage. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's something that that's why I always say one thing that I learned from Kevin Samuels that I'm very grateful I catch up on that when I was still somewhat young. It's to move with intention. And
Mhm.
that applies to men and women because we're seeing on both sides today on younger generations. We're seeing that we have a lot of people that don't think that they think about their 20 something year old selves, and that's not how you're supposed to live life. You have to look at your life all the way till you're 80. And we're seeing a lot of dudes. I mean, I love Andrew Tate. I've always said I don't think he hates women. I think he does love women. He just doesn't love women for the same purposes as other men. But everyone wants to be Andrew, but do you have what it takes to be Andrew? And by that, what I mean by that is like we have a lot of guys that want to be bachelors, but let's keep it real. The country is not designed for bachelor and single women
Mhm.
because you're going to have a life that's going to revolve around work, cleaning, cooking, and sleeping. Your social
Mhm.
life is not going to be there unless you make significant amount of money. And that is a reality that many men have to understand. If you want to be a bachelor, that's a lonely walk, and you gotta be sure that that's what you want because there's no backing out from that. Because by the time that you will realize that it's an endless cycle, you'll be 45, and at that age it's very rare that you'll be able to start a family and you'll find a good woman. It's very rare. You're most likely gonna end with leftovers,
Mhm.
and dealing with left unless you have a significant amount of money. Again, it all comes down to that.
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
all
Because
it's all gonna
somebody,
come down to that because if you don't make a significant amount of money, you're not going to be able to afford being in the circles where women are gonna the options that you're gonna have are going to be amplified. If you don't have what it takes, then make your decisions young. Otherwise, brace yourself. That's it, and it's the same for women. Make your decisions young because after 30, and like I've always said, I am so glad that I made my switch and I started feeling uncomfortable with being alone at 26 because trust me, I'm 34 right now, and I would have jumped off a bridge if I was by myself. We are not designed for solitude, and whoever is telling you that as a woman is lying to you.
yeah, yeah,
And I want to speak on what Denise was saying because I think we're all forgetting one very important element of what's going on because we all are speaking from just the perspective of people, of individuals, of what we're seeing. But this is what we're dealing with right now has been designed pretty much for wealth to, keep men and women separated because women spend a lot more on things when they're single. Women spend a lot more money when they're single. So you have a whole big marketing plan of movies, commercials, ads to advertise towards women and, music to keep women feeling happy about being single and, telling them that they have their independence, they can do what they want, they can move as freely as a man can, even though even when men move in this world, there's a lot of consequences that we have to deal with that a lot of women are not built for. So that's what we're dealing with because a lot of people don't understand where this mindset is coming from. And it's almost like if you're subconsciously thinking this way, how can you turn it off? That's why you have a lot of miserable people out here that's just like, well, I know I want to I want to be in a relationship, even though I'm going to lie to myself and tell everybody that I'm happy being single, or I want to do certain things, or I'm sick of doing it by myself. But they don't know any other way on how to do things. That's why you having the mental breakdowns and people taking antidepressants and everything, because this has been socially engineered and it's been a marketing ploy to be able to make more and more money off of this. No different than the dating coaches and all of these other people. That's why you see and some of these dating coaches get upset about men traveling overseas and different things like that, because these men are their bread and butter. So that's one thing that I think we all need to keep in mind, because it's all about a dollar out here. People are willing to sabotage societal norms just to try to capitalize off of people's mental health and off of people's feeling like, lack of desirability.
I wanted to give Don Armando to finish his story he was telling, if he still wanted to tell it about the wife and the comment about Dominicans. If you wanted to finish that thought, if not, okay, I
I
understand. That was
mean,
in a minute ago.
well, as I was saying, like after a while, that lady went up and was saying, oh, that Dominicans were, basically womanizers. Our whole arguments during those 7 years was, oh, that you're cheating on me or whatever the case may be. When the fact was, is that I just came home from work. I was the most faithful boyfriend ever, but yet I still got a lot of crap. So after that relationship dwindled, I was single for a time. Got into a relationship after my mother passed. That did not pan out well because that person was a chronic liar and cheater. So after a while, after dealing with that, and I was single again, I was dealing with some women. I actually um got together with my current wife. We've made 8 years together, but before we got married, which our anniversary is going to be tomorrow, I was with her 7 years before I got married to her.
Okay.
Well, in
Congratulations.
all fairness, Dominican men in reality don't have a good reputation. I
Yeah,
Yeah, I
don't
was gonna
know.
say that, but I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I don't mean to offend you, right? Of course, because of course,
nah, you
Armando, we
ain't
know you're
offended
a
me. I
married
mean,
man. We know
yeah,
you're a married man, but in reality, they don't have a good reputation for many reasons. The main
I
one
know.
being the fact that most of them are raised by single mothers and end up being just feminine men. That's a reality in the DR. So the
Yeah, it is.
Dominican family, unfortunately, unless you're from like this ultra conservative interior part of the DR, which is called, I think, the Cibao, I guess. It's gonna be very rare that you're going to meet a Dominican family man. That has become almost extinct. When
I mean,
they used to exist in large numbers. Nowadays, not so much. Not so.
the thing is though, it's like okay, everybody wants to give credit to the Cibao as okay as
Be
men
right
being.
back, y'all. Keep talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Keep going. Keep going. Mhm.
I was saying like certain
Just
people
keep
in the
keep going.
Cibao. All right, certain people in the Cibao. I mean, it's all over Dominican Republic now, but then you have certain people in the Cibao that could be family men. But if you actually look at all of the region of Dominican Republic in general, most of the cheaters, I'm just saying from my aspect and everything like that, actually come from that region. And you're talking about men who are feminine and such. Some of those men, I'm just saying, because there's feminine men all over the region of the Dominican Republic. But if you actually look at it, some of these men who are racist, feminine, or some of the baddest thing, or whatever the case may be, they come from that region too. So therefore, no region is actually exempt from all the stuff that you described, Denise.
So you think this is a problem that has spread all throughout the DR?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. You see, certain bad things, right, or
Mhm.
bad customs have been in DR because of certain things. A guy might get get deported. Then if that guy had a affiliation to a street organization, he brings that with him. So therefore, when you have a whole bunch of guys who is under the street organizations, which actually currently are in DR at this point, you're gonna see guys that they're just gonna go drinking and do whatever the case may be, and they might say, "Oh, I don't care about nothing," because all they just want to do is party and be with the next female. So therefore, when you see like a lot of women who are not with the societal norm of a guy just being on top of them or telling them what to do when they don't really care for them, you're gonna see a lot of women who are actually saying that we're tired of your crap. And that's why in the Dominican Republic, even an artist by the name of Vaquero was actually talking about it. There's like a lot of femicides in the Dominican Republic because women
Yeah.
are coming up and they're saying like you're not gonna go and you're gonna respect me or not because you're not gonna go around and run over me. And some men who are ignorant and they don't know or they haven't seen as tough women, they get threatened, and that's why femicides will be happening. I hate to say it, and a lot of people are just mad because of that happening because the societal norm is I'm saying because you have three levels of societies in the Dominican Republic. You have the
Mhm.
rich society, right?
Mhm.
That that most of the people are rich and everything like that. Then you have the working class society in the Dominican Republic that they're somewhat well off, but then they're not the rich. And then you got the poor society. Now the poor society, they'll be the ones that will tell their daughters like, oh, marry this guy because he has a lot of money. But yet they will not focus on their daughter's education or anything like that. And throughout history, you have some women that they just want to pass around that bad value to their daughters also. And when they actually do that, that's when some of these men, if, who are sometimes will not really call men, they'll be like, "Oh, I got a female," or whatever the case may be. But then that guy, his envisionment of a female, and I'm just putting it out there. You got some guys who are like 30 and they want to date a 15-year-old female because they're like, oh, I could teach her, but yet they can't go around and date a real woman that knows everything because they feel threatened. And there's been cases in the Dominican Republic that there's a guy who's like maybe 30 or 40 years old, right? He goes and they say, mato un concubina. For those that don't speak on Spanish, he said, okay, he killed the woman that he had an affair with.
Yeah, the
Am I in
concubine.
translation?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
concubine.
yeah. So
Mm.
in that case, you have men that they'll be doing that and that they'll be killing the 15-year-old. And then the thing is they'll be thinking that, oh, like why is this happening or whatsoever the case may be. Because like in ignorant society, that's approved. And then in the Dominican Republic, like say if a person's a foreigner and let's say he don't know, okay, that the female that he was with was actually 16 or 17 for that matter, there's a rule in the Dominican Republic that if you had relations with a minor or whatever the case may be, you either get married to that female or you're going to jail. So there's a lot of ignorance when it talks about the Dominican justice system, and there's certain people that will pay off somebody in the justice system just to frame it. I've I've heard of stuff like this, and I've had friends who actually were victims of the Dominican justice system, either because somebody they wanted somebody's spouse, or somebody that actually or somebody that actually had power, and they felt like, okay, we're going to use this power, so we're going to put you in jail just because you're just a young, successful human being in the Dominican Republic. I've seen a lot of that stuff happen. So, just to go to your point, Denise, there is a lot of corrupt stuff that actually happens in DR that certain people tolerate. And then when you don't tolerate it no more, or the cultural norm, everybody wants to try to crucify you out there. And that's all I got to say.
Well, first of all, Don Amanda, shout out to you with your, with your upcoming wedding anniversary. It's always,
Thank
it's
you.
always great to celebrate successes and whatnot. The fact of the matter is, you know, when it comes to defining what's a good woman, I mean, you have different definitions. But in the terms of a relationship, in general, this is my interpretation. Someone that's true to herself and true to the person that she's with. Okay. That's, of course, that's just one of many different interpretations of what is a good woman.
Well, yeah, it can depend on who you're talking to, who do you ask. There can be. It's one of those things that good person, good woman, good man. It depends on who you ask. It's not something that you're gonna find necessarily in a dictionary. You may find the definition of what the word good means, but a good person or a good human being, that can be open to interpretation. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I think, look, I think a good woman is a woman that's um, willing to get under a structure of any man that she decides to share her life with. That's it's your ability to do that. That's what makes a good woman, because none of us are perfect out here. But if you're going to challenge a man through life, that's the equivalent of giving that man hell. You're not supposed to challenge your man on everything he says. You're just supposed to let him take the lead, you follow, and that's it. It's not a
Well,
big deal. It's not hard. It's literally not hard.
well, to a lot of women, unfortunately, it is too hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, that's hard, Denise, because I didn't have that in my household from birth to like teenagehood, and it wasn't to adulthood that I try to, do that. And all my memory was not seeing that, having no respect to let a man lead. It was always get his social, don't trust these niggas, they ain't shit. And I didn't see fathers and role models in my household for decades, literally.
Wow. Yeah, no, I grew up with both my parents until I was 60 years old. Um but I mean, of course, I still saw my mom being toxic as hell, and I saw my dad not necessarily having the peace that he needed. Now, am I going to say my mom was ultra masculine? No, she still had a lot of feminine traits. Uh but she wasn't the most feminine woman. I mean, she's still, but it was because of her upbringing. My mom did not knew her father. My grandma had five baby daddies,
Oh,
9 kids, so it was a chaotic upbringing. But my mom always wanted to give her children what she did not have. She always made that known to us. Like, I wanted to give you guys the father that I never had, and the stability that I, as a matter of fact, my mom never remarried, has never had even sexual relations after my father, because she keeps saying, no, I want to do it, but we all remember that she said she's the woman of one man, and that's how she's gonna pass. She's gonna only be with one dude. So again, I understand the importance of modeling, but at the same time, I think the information is out there now. If you're past I would say if you're 30 and older, the information wasn't out there for us. Okay, we literally just had to wing it, and hope for the best. So I
Yeah.
understand where KFIT is coming from, because she really had. You're a 40, right, KFIT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you really had no info. You really had nothing to rely on when it came to information. Because look, I first started getting information regarding this whole thing, like actual information, in my 30s.
Mhm.
I can only imagine when you got a hold of this information. So there's not a lot that we could have done when we were younger, but now this younger generation, they have no excuse, man. This information is out there.
Yeah.
uh they need to get stuff done. I get it is our
Mhm.
job to keep telling them the truth, uh but a lot of them are very defiant when it comes to their roles. But in reality, for us women, the world is literally very, very easy, because we just have to follow a man. And when it all comes crashing down, or that man fails, I will say that's the most challenging part for us, is when our man fails. And that's going to happen. You have to be ready for that. And you have to embrace that he's going to fail, because through failures he becomes better. But when that happens, unfortunately, a lot of women flee, and on top of that, they will just become bitter, because they think that they could have done it better, and that's not the truth. And that's also bad information. That's also bad information, that, oh, like, if he's broke. Like, I've heard a lot of people like, oh, struggle love, I don't do struggle love and whatever, whatever. I'm like, look, struggle love is hard, but that is the foundation, especially if you are of a minority. If you're Latino or African American, you're going to struggle off. Unless your family is affluent, you're going to struggle off when you're young, because that is literally how life works. You're going to, get the cheap stuff, live in a small apartment, get your stuff done, and grow from there. And you can't be uh, hating on your man, and you can't give him a hard time because he doesn't have $1 million at that point. Stability comes with years and a lot of work, you know, and a lot of us today as women, we're not durable wives. We're not. That's why I understand when men are like skeptical when it comes to marriage, because it's scary that you're gonna work for someone to get half of all your stuff. So it's a tough one, but it all starts with us not tolerating BS. Uh, Good women are out there, and bad women will remain as long as men give them the attention. Because that's another thing. We have all these thoughts that any man says they don't like, but they're there making money off of men's attention. Let's keep it real. OnlyFans is not being bought by women.
Yeah.
It is not. The Instagram models don't get likes from majority women. Okay. They don't get followers that are majority women. They get males. So are they really that fed up with the thought culture? I don't think so. I think there's a pocket of men that are, but not all men are tired of thoughts. They love them, and they will continue. Same with the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Women say they're fed up. They're really not, because they keep giving them children and sex. If there's one thing I'll give Cardi B, is when she did that song Up, when she said a broke dude doesn't deserve no pussy. She was right.
Mhm.
If a loser doesn't deserve sex, why are you giving it to him? So that's my take on that.
Mhm. Well, I'm sorry. Well,
Go ahead,
habits
Jose.
sometimes
Go on, go on.
habits. Okay, habits sometimes die very hard. And when you get past a certain age, it gets almost impossible. I mean, it's almost like you have to really like struggle to change habits because some people like a routine. So they're used to doing the same thing again and again and again. And sometimes it could be very hard to accept the reality that, you know, she's trying to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's the pure definition of insanity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your
And
time, man, Jose. I appreciate that.
yeah, yeah.
No problem.
Um. Okay. All right. In many ways, I do have to agree with what Denise was saying, and when it comes to the whole thing about the relationships, and yeah, you said that it's easy. That it's easy to. It should be easy to let a man lead. Unfortunately, we're living in a society where there are too many women that want to be able to be behind the wheel at the same time, and they want to be able to or to captain the ship at the same time, and that can lead to kind of like butting heads, and there being conflict. And something that we were mentioning before is like we can be a better head of a household or a better leader of a household if we can have some peace when we come home. And we as men, we're simple beings, we're simple creatures, and we don't need that much to be at peace and to be to be happy with our significant other. It's just that there are certain women, of course, I'm not saying all, but there are certain women that make things more complicated than they need to be, and that's something that we're gonna have to address. And you were saying something about growing up with the parents and all. Um, as somebody who grew up without his dad, that's something that I had to. I could have easily have grown up maybe a bit more effeminate because I didn't have my dad and I was around women all the time. But the thing is that in the culture that we come from, Denise, as you know, is that at least the culture does promote certain when it comes to being macho. That's still a thing.
Thank
Uh,
God it exists. Thank God.
yeah,
I think that's what creates still the balance in the Puerto Rican culture. The men are not giving that up.
no, no, no. I
They're
wouldn't want
not.
that, and I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that
Me
to be given
neither.
up because
Me
even
neither.
even though I didn't have my dad growing up in my old neighborhood, when I would go out to play with the other kids in the neighborhood, many times I would meet their parents, and most of them they had their dads around. So at least I could see what it was like to see the interactions with the other boys in the neighborhood interacting with their dads. At least I had the example. At least I was able to see it, even though I didn't have it. So my very next door neighbor, this boy, this guy, he's grown up now, and I saw it, him growing up with his dad. Later on, his parents separated, but he was already in his late teens. I mean, he wasn't a little kid, so he was somewhat grown. So he didn't have to go through that crucial growing up stage in his life by himself. But at least I had that, and at least there is kind of like that macho part of the culture that is not. I don't think it's going away anytime soon. Yeah, sure, there might be some guys that might try to emulate Bad Bunny's style when it comes to how he looks. He's like too colorful for my taste, but I don't think
But
he's
even
still.
Bad Bunny, look at Bad Bunny out here exercising his options.
I just want to say
He
Mhm.
hi to
might dress
Radical,
like a
guys. Hey, Radical. Thanks for popping
hey
in.
Rad. He might look like
Yo.
a flower,
Hey, Rat.
but
Yes.
he's still doing the same thing that every other man is doing out here. He has
If you
his
don't mind me
girl.
asking, what's the topic?
Do good women still exist
Oh, of course.
outside
So,
of
what
New
does a
York
good
City?
woman look like in
Like
2022?
Don Armando said, outside of New York.
Outside outside of New York, yeah, they do. Uh, no, and what a good one, in my opinion. A woman that doesn't have social media, right? Who has her body count tattooed in her forehead. No, let me stop. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing.
Yeah.
Um, no, let Denise finish saying what she was saying because I
No,
interrupted her.
continue. Because what I was just responding to what Ramon said about like the whole Bad Bunny thing for the men and the women that get confused and think that because he wears a skirt, that he believes in the empowerment of women. No, Bad Bunny is out here exercising his options like any other man. Having, cheating on his current long-term girlfriend. That's basically his living wife,
Yeah.
and he's still a macho man, and that's not gonna go away in our culture. Even it doesn't matter if he looks like a flower.
Yeah. My
I
definition of
like his music. I'm sorry.
yeah, my definition of what a good woman is loyalty. If you have loyalty, and won't betray me, in my opinion, that's what a good woman is. Now, some attributes and traits, as in helping me out or putting herself into either my business or into what I'm doing and helping me out, being a helping hand. That's an addition to it. Always being caring and looking out for me, having my food prepared when I'm coming home. That's just an addition. But if I'm talking about like something basic that a good woman would, that a man is looking for in a woman, is loyalty. If she shows me that and she has that, to me, that's what a good woman is.
No, and the thing is that when it comes to what you just mentioned, Radical, you come home and your lady has made a little something to eat. You can't talk about that these days because with these modern women, because they start talking about, I'm not a slave. I don't cook and clean. I'm not a
Yeah.
fucking
See,
slave.
see,
Or
but
like Cardi B, I don't cook, I don't
I don't
clean, but let me tell
clean.
you, I got this ring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, but
that's
then
the
there was
thing.
that
Like,
video.
but this is the thing though. Like,
Uh-huh.
people's standards are so low that she can say that. You know what I'm saying? She can say, "I don't cook, I don't clean, still got the ring." She can say it because not only her husband's standards are so low, but her standards are low as well. You feel what I'm saying? And on top of that, the majority of men, they don't look for things like that. They don't look for some stability. When I was single, the first time when I was dealing with my wife, you know, she slept over. I'm a single man. If certain things are dirty, certain things are dirty. I could care less, right? So I literally woke up to a new kitchen, and when I mean to a new kitchen, literally she like fucking scrubbed the kitchen from the ceiling all the way down. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she was like, no, it was just really dirty. And I think you need a good living space. And, just because you're a man doesn't mean that you can't be clean. And I'm like,
You have to
okay.
clean all that dust.
Yeah,
Right, right. Because what
yeah,
does
yeah,
this,
all that,
right?
all that,
What
all
does
that
this?
dust, all that
Okay.
dust. But those are the type of things that I see that is like, wait a minute, she's really into me, or wait a minute, this is not an average, type of chick that I'm dealing with. And those are the attributes that I believe that certain women should be coming with. You know what I mean? Some women
As
nowadays
in what
think,
she brings to the table.
yeah, like some
No,
women,
no. Remember, they say they are the table.
yes, because some women,
Right.
some women nowadays think that good choach it's it, and that's it. That's you don't need more than that,
But you know
which
what's
is
crazy?
And
wrong.
they're not even good at
That
it.
this is the thing. It's not even that. Let's say that their box is heaven. What is the accurate price, money wise? How much does it cost today for the average man to pay for
Wait,
pussy.
you can't say that. You can't say that. You gotta
It's in
say
the thousands.
you gotta say roses. You gotta say roses. How many roses will
Oh
it
my
take
God. No,
for Gloriana?
how much does it cost? How much does it cost? I'll tell you what, the average price of pussy on the street today is
Yo,
$40.
who the hell is Antonio Quero?
I
Who?
don't.
Open that quote.
Oh, Tony
Yeah,
El Cuero. Yeah, just block him because it's just
yeah.
weird.
He
Happy.
Just
wants, that's
block
a
him.
troll. That's a
Just
troll.
block him.
So the
Who?
average
Antonio.
price of pussy today is $40.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I'm not even joking.
The hoes I come
That
across is like
is
200. I
that
mean,
is unless
word.
you are because look, these ladies that get paid, the big box, the escorts, they're not getting paid for their box. And any man that outsources sex will tell you this. They're getting paid for their discretion.
Yeah, and for the company.
No, their discretion. That's
Mhm.
it. For
No,
them to
that's
not.
the costly part. It's not so much about the act, the sex itself. It's
Yeah,
that they keep their
it's for
mouth
that.
shut.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just the silence. Well, when it comes to pussy, go to the street and you will see the most lovely, good-looking girls selling pussy out there. Ask them how much for pussy. $40 is the price of pussy today.
No, that could be a cost. I
So,
mean, you don't do that.
That's first of
The
again,
all,
street value is cheap. Yeah.
that's
the
crazy.
value
That
is
means I'm
cheap.
overpaying my shit. Hold on, I gotta make a phone call. No, let me
Oh my
stop.
God. Look, so when women say,
Oh
I'm
boy.
bringing this bomb ass pussy, because let's keep it real, there's too many whores out here. I've said this many times. We as women, we're the worst people in business because there's too many whores out here. If we wanted to make this stuff expensive so that men will feel more comfortable spending the big bucks, then we need to graduate millions of whores out of that life. But we're not willing to do that. We all want to cheer them on and call it empowerment.
All right, so
Hold on, Don Armando. So in reality, when you evaluate when a man has to marry you and give you a down payment for the rest of his life, which is the engagement ring, you got to think about, what does she really bring to my life? If it's pussy, then that's trash, because that means two things. You're getting something that's $40 in value, and that's the only thing that she brings, which means if she gets mad at you, you know that woman will withdraw sex from you, because that's the only thing that she brings to the relationship, and she will use it to manipulate everything that she wants out of you. So when a woman is like, I don't cook, I don't clean, sweetie, cooking and cleaning, you're supposed to do that even when you're by yourself. And what women don't
It's basic.
understand today, yeah, this is basic stuff. Men know how to do this stuff. What women don't understand, cooking is love, is health, is life. You're giving the gift of life to your men and your family when you cook for them, because you're putting into their bodies either healthy or unhealthy stuff. So if you don't put that into their bodies and you give them junk food, that means you don't love that man. So I want men to take notes on that. And for the when they say they don't clean, you got to think about how you keep a space. If you're not willing to feel uncomfortable in a dirty space and upkeeping to the best of your ability, again, that's another expression of love. Bacteria, germs, and sickness come from that. And if you're willing to expose the men that you're demanding the worth from to all those things, are you really a woman worthy of that ring? I don't think so.
Nicely said, Denise. You up
nicely
here
said.
preaching, spreading jewels, girl.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna be
nicely
full
said.
of.
Marisol.
Uh,
Like I told you, you're overpaying me. Oh my bad. Sorry.
No, yeah,
uh,
you're gonna be getting called all kinds of
All right,
excuse me.
Go ahead, Jose.
Go on,
KFIT,
go on.
KFIT,
Mhm.
a suggestion.
Yes.
Are you there?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Select some people to be moderators, because part of the job as a moderator is to make sure, make sure that no one uh, enters any inappropriate comments in in the chat. And what you can do is after the stream is over, you take a look of enter a comment, and then there's a function where you can select who is going to be your moderator.
I would like for y'all all to be moderators. I be thinking this be y'all other friends. I'm like, who the hell is Antonio Crero? Like he say one more black girl joke.
What is he saying?
He talk about how he like black and Chinese and German girls because they stinky and hard workers. And I'm like, yo, who was this? I did a live video talk about how I was stinky this morning. I'm like,
Look at Don Armando. Don Armando can hold it.
Yeah, it's otro en el cuero. Just a troll. That's just a troll.
Yo, did you see this video of this Mexican shorty busting her gun outside the window of a car?
Oh nah.
Yo,
Oh my god.
her dumb ass was on TikTok busting her joint with the baby in the car, and she got she got arrested. I don't know. Wait, can I share it?
What?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I share it? Hold on, let me try to. I got you right now. Yo, my Twitter be lit though. Yo, my Twitter be lit.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Stop. You have all the Tariq Queeners over there.
Yeah, that is true. All the Tariq people will be hating on me. I think KFIT, you gotta accept it. Yo, KFIT. Okay. There we go. All right. So let me see. Where is it? Oh, y'all seen this shit? This shit is crazy.
Wasn't the lady holding the baby on top? Like when I think
Nah, she's busting her gun. Like you could clearly see the. Is it on my replies? No, I think it is one of these. Hold on. No. Yo, that's no. No, damn. No. Strong. Where is
that
it?
one.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
That's not it?
No, that's not it. Not this. Okay. Don't.
They probably banned that shit.
Nah, it's on Twitter. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So this is Shorty right here.
Amplify it. Is she dumb?
Yo, she goes like, my bitch bangs, right? Like she's wilding, right? So check this out. Wait, where is it? All right, so check this out. They catch her. They catch her real quick, son. They were like, here's 22-year-old Genesis Rodriguez charged with a deadly conduct after the video went viral, firing her gun in the movie car, blah, 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 blah. So check this out, yo.
Por una orden de arresto. Nuestros oficiales aplicaron por una orden de arresto y este día la ejecutamos esa orden.
She look mad young.
Y arrestamos a Genesis Rodriguez.
Word, she look 14.
Yeah. She looked like she just had her quinceañera, bro.
Additionally, I can tell you that at present, we do have one vehicle in custody. It is being searched right now. It's a crime. Nuestros oficiales.
Yo, it's crazy, right?
Jesus Christ. And you know what? That's what I'm saying with the whole generational thing. Notice
and that gun, she got it from her quinceañera. It came with a bow.
Most certainly. She's just 22 years old. This is the people that we're putting out right now. It's so weird.
Yo.
And this is another thing that I want to say: the passport bros.
But look. Yo, she looks mad young.
She's only 22.
Nah, she can't be. She looked like she's dead 14 though.
No.
She look like a 14.
It's been already stated. I mean, she's 22. She has the pregnant belly and all. She's not even.
No, I know she's 22.
She's already
I guess she's 22, but she looked like she's damn 14.
No, she looked young, but that debunks what we've been saying for a while, that the passport bros keep thinking that we're lying to them. Hyena style, we also come in that style. Latinas,
yo,
we do.
She got the extended clip, bro. You see that?
Jeez, I don't even know what. I don't even know
Look,
what
And there was
that.
a baby in the car. You said.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. I
Look,
don't. I
she
don't.
got the extended clip. Yo, shout out to
Yeah,
Shorty.
but the thing is, they're self snitching because they want to put it all over social media for attention. Because there is so many young people that are so attention deprived that they go on and do this stupid shit, and then they're wondering why they get in trouble,
You know,
why
I'm
they
gonna,
get
I'm
in
gonna tell
trouble
you
with
right
the cops.
now. I'm gonna tell you right now. In New York,
You
fuck
finished
having.
sharing radical.
Yeah. If
Where is
yeah,
she from? Right?
this is
Is she from
Texas.
here? From okay. I thought
Yeah,
it was
no,
California. Look,
nah. But
did
in New York, just having an extended clip alone, it's that's already 10
It's a
years, bro.
5-year sentence.
No,
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing because if you can get a gun in New York, the magazine is supposed to only have like 10 rounds. I mean,
not six,
anything
six.
only six?
Yeah,
Huh, damn.
yeah.
I mean,
wow,
I mean in
Wow.
Pennsylvania, it everybody's getting. It's like this. Like if you got like a good record and everything like that. Because I have friends that tell me like, okay, you got to go and get your gun license. You can
Mm,
get anything you want out here, in Pennsylvania.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
So
I mean,
it,
and me being in Texas, you have a pretty good idea that I can get these magazines, these pistol magazines that accommodate 18 rounds, 20 rounds, and nobody cares. I mean,
but you know what? Nah, but screw the clips though. Everybody down south, from what I'm hearing, they're
hmm,
actually getting those drums. You hear me? Like
Hmm.
they got one drum and they got two drums. So like say for example, like out here in Philadelphia, you got certain people who are getting hit up like maybe you just thinking like okay, this person got shot like maybe one, two, or three times. Nah,
hmm.
there was a guy that went up and got shot like that. There was 100 shots that rang out, and the boy got hit like maybe 40 times or something like that.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Or
Yeah. Maybe it's because they were using
Really?
the blocks. Maybe because they were using the blocks that have the modified the switch at the end of the slide that allows them that it turns them basically into a mini Uzi. So if you have like a long stick magazine or a 50 round drum, there yeah you can do some damage with that shit.
I mean, yeah. Then you got the two drums also, and then if you got a 50 round drum and then you got a 4.5 with a lot of stopping power, that's gonna hurt, or that person is gonna die just for internal bleeding.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because one of my homies, his son got hit, and he had to go, and it was a big bullet and everything like that that hit him. So he had to go and recuperate and everything like that. Broke his bones and such.
Yeah. No, and the thing is that on the streets, they get all of the high power shit. I mean, when it comes to guns, fully automatic machine guns, and the big drums that maybe they don't sell it at the stores, but they can get them in the streets because there's that well armed. And but the politicians in the states keep passing these laws one on top of the other that only makes the populace, the people that actually obey the laws, makes them more and more vulnerable because they cannot protect themselves. I mean, just willingly, the government is making the law-abiding citizens to be victims and making them vulnerable. And maybe they do know that they're doing
hmm
that, but they don't care because that when you keep people vulnerable, you can keep them more under control. It's bullshit. I mean, fortunately, I mean, I'm not rubbing it in, but that's something that I'm glad that I'm in the South because I can get down here whatever I can afford. I mean, and there are no regulations
Well,
at all.
well, unfortunately, those of us who live in New York, it's a different situation altogether. I mean,
Yeah,
we
but
have some of the toughest gun control laws And with all that, it's not changing anything because criminals will always get access to guns.
But the thing is that the people of New York, the law-abiding citizens of New York, need to put the pressure to have that changed. I mean, that recent Supreme Court decision that came out like a couple of days before the Roe v. Wade thing, that was a great first start. But the thing is that the leaders in the state of New York, they are kind of like doubling down by passing more regulations and making it more difficult and
Guys,
making it
I'm gonna
more
bounce out.
complicated.
All right, peace.
Thank you
All
for
right.
having me.
No
Bye-bye.
problem, Denise. Take care.
Okay, hasta la
Peace.
próxima. And they're making it
Good
more
night.
complicated and making it
night.
more expensive for you guys. And again, you guys that are in New York, I feel for you, and I really feel that like it's gonna have to be up to the people to make a change on that, to actually hold your leaders accountable.
Yo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought Tina was trending on Twitter for a second.
Tina,
I
what
thought
for? Oh, okay,
Tina
okay.
was trending
Tina.
because on Twitter because there's a trending thing called X Tina, and I'm like, who the fuck?
No, yeah, but Tina, that's a common name because I remember
Yes,
people calling
it's-
Christina Aguilera
Well,
referring to her as Tina.
that's why she's trending. Yeah. It's Christina
Maybe it's
Aguilera's trending.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I
People
was
call her
about to
that.
say. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, it's because of Aguilera. Mhm.
well, for if we can change the subject somewhat as far as some good news is concerned, I'm happy to say that so far this year I have gained 100 subs.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah.
for you. Good for you.
That's
I
good.
definitely gained a few more subs too. So it's a process.
Yeah,
So
that's good. That's good.
so I have 100 and
Yes.
Jose.
Yeah, Jose,
no, I just wanted
you be having something kind of like thumping on your mic. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, but you were saying.
I think his internet is all over the place.
Yeah, I definitely want to wrap this up. We're like totally like going too far for me, and we're like all off topic right now. But I appreciate the love.
Yeah, I mean,
No problem.
no, but this is good. This is good. It's not being too long. It's just that the topics keep coming, and we're having a good chat, and that's a good thing. But I understand. Maybe you have something else, but
I'm gonna open up my live. Everybody come on my. No, I'm just playing.
And I would still probably go
Well,
over there and watch the live too, but I definitely wanted to wrap this up. I think we said that, good women do exist, and everyone said what they feel the values of a good woman is, and everyone here is not brainwashed about these Barbie dolls have the same body all over social media and these airheads walking out here in the streets. So that's a good thing. Good women do exist. You guys are,
no.
strong stand-up men, and y'all spoke about that. So that's what I wanted to do tonight.
And black women are queens. We gotta also say that too.
Amen.
You heard, black women are queens, and black men don't cheat.
Yeah, we working on that one.
Okay.
Any last words from you guys?
Just to let everybody know that next week I'm going to have a 2-part series completely in Spanish regarding us, what we can learn among each other. So, and it's always KFIT or Sekisho, as you like to be called. It's always a pleasure to interact with you. It's always a pleasure to interact with all you guys. Actually, you know what? You guys made up my day, believe it or not. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good to see you, Jose.
Hey, Kishel, I wanna first say that I appreciate you letting me be on your panel. This was a great discussion, great chat. I look forward for the next one that you have.
No problem. I hope to see you soon too.
Oh, it's my turn. You know, your chat ain't lit if you don't have me in it. So,
Ow.
so
Oh,
shout out to you. Shout out to
Okay.
everybody. Shout out to me. You heard.
Look,
yeah.
And yeah, and yeah.
Well, I'll get the balls of the werewolves to be in your chat more and try to join in, but it's like so intimidating. You have like so many people in your stream. I'm like, oh my god, he ain't gonna see me in here.
Nah, like first of all, shout out to Ramon. He's the one that be sending me your joints on Instagram. I didn't even know you had a channel, so that's what I'm saying. Shout out to Ramon.
Ramon showing me love. Oh, thank you, Ramon. He didn't even tell me he was doing that all the time.
oh
But
no,
yeah,
no.
shout
People
out.
that I'm cool with just send the links out. Whether even if it's not about me, even if it's not on my stream, I'll send the link out. If it's participating in something that is good, it's a good subject, a good discussion. I'll send the link out to see if there are other people that might join. So it's not a problem.
But thanks, Radical. You're super dope. You're super cool and relatable, and I definitely am interested in your channel. But it's intimidating. I ain't gonna lie.
It's intimidating. Like what? My coming over to my channel is intimidating.
Hell yeah, it'd be like a whole bunch of people in the chat, and it'd be like a whole lot of people on the panel, and y'all be real aggressive with it, not judging. I love the energy, but I'm like, ooh, I'm still small time. I like this little 5-6 circle with less stress and intimidation over here.
Listen. We're men. We bring in that masculinity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry if it gets a little too aggressive or whatever the case is. But you could join. You could join. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. We'll tone down the aggressiveness for you. It's all right.
All right, cool. I'll definitely will sometime.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna catch everybody later. Peace.
All right.
All right, take care, man. No,
All right, take care, Rad.
last night, Kishel, I was kind of surprised to have Xtina join the panel of my tiny little chat. I mean, somebody like her, she is the one with the bigger channel, so it was kind of like a bit of
Yeah, she has a lot of content, a lot of channels too.
yeah. She has
Yeah.
a big channel. She is like over 10K when it comes to subscribers. Yeah.
I'm
So
just
I think
excited to know you all of you guys, honestly, for real.
Yeah, thank you.
well,
Actually,
the
I
fact
thought you were gonna
uh,
join. I thought you were gonna join me last night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I had my first real food and it didn't go so well.
Oh, okay. You got that KO pectate. You have
Yeah,
the
I got
KO
some
pectate.
stuff to be taken for the moment. TMI.
Okay. I get it. Well, it happens. It happens to us all. Hmm.
but
But thank
but
you,
you know something,
Ramon.
yeah. But you know something, last night's stream was, I had so many technical problems on it. I had to redo it today.
Oh
But
I
wow.
don't.
it's all good.
I don't know what's up. Well, maybe you shouldn't do streams on Friday evening. It seems because that could be a factor. It could be a factor of the time and the date. Hmm.
Okay. Well, the problem is, okay. The problem is Friday. That's when I have an open discussion. So if I don't do it on a Friday, if I do it like on a Saturday, it gets tricky because I don't want to, conflict with KFIT's stream and anything like that. So it's kind of hard to do it on a Saturday night. So I have to find, so I might have to do it on go back to Sunday. But the thing is, I removed myself from Sundays to make sure that Denise had her be able to air her content. So it gets.
No, but just do the timing thing. I mean, if you know at which time during the day somebody's gonna be doing a stream, do it before or after. I mean, don't. I try not to change it too much when it comes to scheduling things, but I do want to do it in a way that doesn't conflict with you guys. And you guys have like a bigger audience, but it was a little tricky for me yesterday, but it still made it happen, and still we had a good discussion. It went almost 3 hours. That's uncommon for me to go that long for a live.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I want to give Don a chance to, say anything. I appreciate you popping on my streams more. I gotta get used to your personality and your names and your avatars.
Yeah. I mean, it was great that you let me on your panel. We had like a good discussion about what the dynamics between men and women are.
Mhm.
And I could actually say this is a good stream and I'll support you in any type of way. KFIT.
Thank you. And I definitely want to get into your stream too and see all the different videos you have and, understand what your platform is as well. So I appreciate you.
Got you.
Yeah, we need to do this again. When it comes to the subject, this is this is one of those subjects that you can do kind of like a mini series out of it. Do more streams, and kind of like the next stream is still about the dynamics between men and women, but name it after a different aspect, and do a stream on that and so on, because this can continue. This is the type of conversation that can be extended into other lives, which is a good.
I can see doing videos about people I met on YouTube, men and females, and the influences, in the background about that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. But one thing I would love to learn how to do is how to edit videos. I mean, that's something that's a skill unfortunately I do not have, and basically someone is gonna have to like break it down because unfortunately I'm not always all that tech savvy. So, but
It's a
maybe
lot of work.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I can imagine. That's something that I will have to pick up on if I were to do the same thing. If I were to learn how to edit, that's something I will have to learn from scratch. I'll admit, I don't know.
Wow.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna exit you out. I'm gonna do a little couple words with the audience who's still here. So I guess I'll catch you guys this week. I'll be checking on your channels to see when you guys are live.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Sure thing. Anytime.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely. Thank you.
All right, you guys have a great weekend.
You
You
too.
too. You too. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So that's the show. It's been super long. I definitely didn't expect it to go this long. It's 10:42. I'm up here 2 hours and 33 minutes. I was late, so yeah, that's expected. But happy to know that everyone on the panel thought that there are definitely good women still out there. Everyone had exceptional reasons to say what good women look like, core values, brains, not just beauty, what they bring to the table. So it was very, very interesting. So at this point, I'm definitely wrapping it up. And I'll see you guys next week for another Wine and FaceTime. Take care, and I hope to see you all soon.